Welcome into the PHNX Suns Podcast. I'm Lindsay, that's Gerald, that's Flex, that's Espo. Happy Tuesday. How you guys doing?
Happy Tuesday.
Y'all hanging in there?
I want to send a personal thank you to everybody here who joined us at Whole 9 Yards yesterday for my surprise 40th birthday. My wife surprised me, and I was very upset. I hate surprises, but I appreciated the sentiment. I appreciated you guys coming. Lindsay, I appreciate the effort.
She tried.
She tried.
Try coming.
She tried, and I appreciate that. But thank you to everybody. It meant a lot. And thanks to the guys over at Whole 9 Yards.
All I'm going to say is don't invite me to the East Valley for at least a year, okay? I have beef with the East Valley now, and I'm done.
Damn. Trauma.
We're tapping out. I can't handle any more of the trauma that comes with driving in the East Valley.
You made it like 90% of the way
Bro,
there.
seriously,
so,
I think that's the worst part. Like, I literally was not even, but like 4 minutes away.
Damn.
And it was just like, bam, car accident. And I'm just like, dang it, now I got to sit here forever and deal with all of this.
I didn't find that out till this morning, though. So I thought, man, Lindsay just really
ghosted,
doesn't like me.
Didn't even like say anything. I thought Gerald, I texted Gerald because I was like, Gerald will just share the news.
Well, I shared it. I shared it with Saul, but then I think Saul left soon after that. But yeah, in typical Lindsay fashion, I text her like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" She's like, "Unfortunately." Lindsay trying to make bank.
It meant a lot, and your effort, Lindsay, and now your insurance premium, mean the world.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Listen.
Hey, can I give a quick shout out?
Valley, that's all I'm saying.
Can I give a quick shout out? Happy birthday to my beautiful daughter.
Oh,
25 today. She's
25.
on a cruise.
Nice.
I love you. Happy birthday. God bless you, and talk to you soon.
That's nice.
We have to start today's show with a super chat from Sunday that came in last minute on the show, so we missed it. And it's from PHX 0407. They sent us one, and we were talking, of course, about the big game that we had going on. And they said this team is going to be tough down the stretch with all the injuries getting everyone involved. I wouldn't want to see this team once healthy.
Ooh.
And
Fair.
I mean, like we said, it is going to pay dividends. The fact that we've dealt with so many injuries at the top of the season and other guys are being asked to step up, and they've been doing that, and they're getting reps and they're getting confidence and all the above. It's gonna be a positive for us as the season continues.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about Devin Booker, because of course we have to talk about Devin Booker. Rightfully so. He has gotten a lot of love over the weekend with that game winner Sunday night, and Book has now been named. It came out yesterday. He was named the Western Conference Player of the Week. So this is now his 8th award, and it was for the week of November 20th through the 26th. And as you pointed out, I believe on our Twitter, this gives him the most in Suns franchise history.
That wasn't me. That was the great.
Oh, really? That was you,
that was me.
Gerald.
Yep.
I thought that one was like, that seemed like it came right out of Espo's playbook with the Steve Nash stuff.
No.
But Nash had 7, so now Book is officially past that. Congrats, Gerald.
Well,
with that little
I didn't win the award, but thank you.
Good job, G.
Congrats on the great tweet, Gerald.
Hell yeah.
And then,
Tweet of the week.
It was.
he's just 2 MVPs behind now, right? Which could be on his way there. But yeah, look, I know it's always nice to be recognized, and I'm sure. I mean, really, they could have given it to KD the week before. They didn't. They gave it to Book this week. I think it just speaks to how well this team's come together, how Book has taken on that mantle of being the point guard of this team and doing those things. So well deserved. The stats back it up. I'm sure Gerald has a bunch of them to share with us. But yeah, it was a great week for Book for sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead, G. Let me
All
see
right.
them stats.
Well, okay. So for the week, 38, 5, 1.5 steals, 1 block, 48% shooting, 43% from 3, 90% from the foul line, 4-0 record, 1 game winner. There was nobody else in the West that had a resume anywhere near that for the week. But I wrote about this on gophnx.com a couple days ago if you haven't checked it out yet. But what he's doing this season, I know he's missed some time, and Kevin Durant has been phenomenal throughout. You could definitely make the case that he's been the Suns' best player, but Book is having a career year, and he's doing it while operating as a primary scorer and as the primary playmaker, which is incredible. He's putting up 29 points, basically 9 assists, 5 rebounds, almost 50% shooting, almost 44% from 3. All of those numbers are career highs so far. And I know we're only, 17 games in the season. He's only played 9 or 10, whatever it is. But the guy's flirting with 50, 40, 90 territory. The Suns are 8-1 when he plays. He's got the best point differential in the league at plus 10.9. And over this 7-game win streak, the Suns rank first in field goal percentage, second in three-point percentage, third in free throws, fifth in free throw percentage, fifth in assists, 12th in turnovers, which is way better than where they were without him, fourth in point differential, first in offensive rating, and third in net rating. The guy has been phenomenal. He's fourth in the NBA in assists, sixth in potential assists, and third in assist points created. So he's running the offense, but he's also shooting a career high percentage on pull-up threes while taking a career high number of pull-up threes. And he's also attacking the rim more. He's, I think he's 9th in the NBA in drives. So he's getting to the basket more. He's 6th in points on those drives, 4th in assists on those drives, and 11th on free throws on those drives. So when he puts his head down, he's also creating his own offense, getting to the foul line, creating offense for everybody else. He's been the complete package as an offensive player.
Yeah, Gerald, but as Lindsay pointed out the other night, he did have 2 turnovers.
Hold on.
I wasn't pointing that out. I wasn't pointing that out to throw shade at Book. I was throwing shade at the 3 of you, not Gerald, but Saul.
Gee, I love you. You missed something.
What I missed?
When you pulled up his stats, you said everything he did this week. How many shiny bright stars did he get this week?
Oh, that's right. How many bright shiny stars?
He got at least 1.
He better have every damn one. He's player of the week.
I couldn't tell you what happened before Sunday. I don't remember at this point.
So he
but
should
I know
have
he got Sundays.
He should
Sunday
have.
was a part of that week.
Yeah, he should have one for every game he played this week. I mean, he's incredible, and this makes me go back to the episode we had before Book came back, where we were talking about the fourth quarter collapses, and we were talking about all the numbers. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's safe to say he solved everything on that list with what you just said. Mm-hmm. I mean, he solved everything, and that's the unique thing about a guy like Devin Booker. He's so good. He's a generational talent, and he just makes people around him better. I'll throw another stat. Mm-hmm. The Suns, I like to round up when I see a guy who's got like 5.7 points a game, call it 6, right? The Suns have 12 players averaging 6 points or more. Okay, there's no team in the league that's even close to that. All right, so now you want to talk about depth? You want to question if this team is deep? They ain't got Brad Beal yet, and they got 12 players, 1 through 12, averaging 6+ a game, and so that just speaks to one, the depth, the roster construction, and how Devin is actually maximizing all that talent, all in one. And so it's nice to see. Give him his flowers, man. These guys are undefeated since he came back, and I expect him to continue to play well.
I actually feel like he's starting to crack through the national narrative, too, and simply because he's so dramatically changed his game to be more of the distributor. There was such an adverse reaction to the way the Suns constructed this team, and they don't have a point guard.
Well, I mean, and even outright, like Sean saying that Bradley Beal, their point guard, you know what I mean? Like everyone was pushing that idea that because Bradley Beal is the smallest one of the 3, he has to be the point guard, and not even giving like a second thought to Book being the guy who's actually going to be facilitating the most.
Yeah, and I think it's thawed some of the feeling from before because it was always some evolution of Devin Booker is a volume scorer, volume shooter, and inefficient. And then that kind of morphed when he got more efficient. But I always felt like it was some disdain for the way he scored. And we all know my 70-point theory. But now that he's doing it while passing the ball too, I think it's really opening eyes of those people that may have been unwilling to back off of where they were before. Now I think this gives them an out because they're like, well, he's now making all his teammates better, even though he always has. They now can kind of back out of the corner they had put themselves in.
You know what I find the most interesting about the conversation around Book is that, like, back in the day, you know, they would call him kind of like throw shade at him as far as like padding stats, and he's an empty stats guy, blah, 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 blah. So he got shade for that. And then he does the selfless thing and doesn't go for individual accolades or trying to stat pad at all. And then he gets shade for, oh, well, it's Chris Paul who's doing this. It's this person who's doing it. And it's just like, so when do we get to have our cake and eat it too, since you get to have that? Like, when do we get to like turn the tables here? Yeah. You know what I mean? Because he's getting credit. Like, he gets no credit for when he has to do it all, but simply because it's the only option available. He gets no credit for doing what's right by his team, even though he could go out there and could have had stats like this all along probably, but he didn't want to because he knew it wasn't good for the team.
That's right.
Like, when do we get a little bit of that?
Right now, I think is when we do.
Yeah, he put winning above stats.
Yes,
and he's been doing it for a long time. And another thing that's infuriating me that I'm getting tired of is Devin Booker doesn't play defense. Like, that needs to get flushed down the toilet. Like, he is having an unbelievable year defensively. I'll make an argument Devin's a top 5 two-way player in the league right now based on what he's done in these games. Show me a guy who's putting up the offense and defensive numbers that he's putting up through this stretch.
Well, and carrying the same load, too.
Right. Carrying that load, shorthanded, and tell me there's a guy that you prefer more than Devin Booker. I mean, he's playing defense. He's one of the highest rated defensive guards at his position in the league. So that's out the way too, Lens. Like, that was all it, right? Empty stats. Oh, it doesn't play defense. This, that, and third. And he continuously eliminates these things, but the narrative doesn't change. You know, and it's tough because this guy should be talked about as a top 5 player in the MVP race for sure. But, you know, it is what it is.
And I don't mean this to throw shade at our fellow All-City people, but earlier today on the All-NBA show, Adam Morris and I butchered that, and Tim Legler were talking about the best duo in the NBA, and they both said Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid. And I'm like, yeah, did you forget that Kevin Durant and Devin Booker are a duo in this league? I get it that they haven't played every game together, but you have arguably, 2 top 7 guys in the league right now on the same roster? Because I know we're in praise book mode because KD's been hurt, but when you look in totality of the season, you got 2 top 7 guys here. 2 guys that are complete difference makers that can do all the little things that you need, and there is no duo in this league that's anywhere near them in terms of talent and ability when the other one's not there to take over and carry the mantle. I'm sorry, but if Embiid ain't there, Tyrese Maxey ain't carrying the mantle, and Joel to a certain extent can't do it all by himself.
That pisses me off. No, that really pisses me off, yo. Like, are we really see? It's quick to overlook Book, who's been doing it for 9 years. But you go right away and say, who's the best duo? And it's easy to just, Tyrese Maxey. Like, what the hell has Tyrese Maxey done in the league so far?
Okay, he's surprising, though. I think that it's the shiny new toy factor.
Yeah, but then say, what is the biggest surprise?
Right, say that.
Or
right,
who is
frame it that way.
You didn't anticipate being in this situation who has really impressed you so far.
Right.
Like, best duo and, like, biggest surprise or most improved or whatever. Totally different conversation.
I'm going to be honest. If y'all ask that question on this show live with no prep, say, yo, who's the best duo in the league? Put 10 people here. No one says Embiid and Maxey. That's my thing. I wouldn't. Would you, G, be honest?
No. I would. I mean, the thing is, and I'm sure the national people are trying to cover, they're trying to cover the whole league. So they're trying to weigh games missed in on this. And I'm sure that's where the edge probably is there. But based on what we've seen, even in the handful of games where Book and KD have been on the court together, it's pretty clear that we're dealing with, at worst, 2 top 10 players, and more likely closer to what you were saying, 2 top 7 guys. Nobody else in the league has that. Maxey's been phenomenal to start the season. Embiid coming off an MVP season, we know how great he is. But it's just one of those things where it feels like the conversation's slowly starting to turn with Book. But the Suns maybe just don't get as much love as we think because everybody looks at, well, Bradley Beal's out. Like, we're not going to, whatever.
I don't even know. And this is completely just extemporaneously, but what? Tatum and Brown, you could argue, are legit.
Tatum and Brown, right. Dame and Giannis, but that hasn't worked well yet because their coach doesn't really know what he's doing. And outside of that, it's Jokic and Murray.
Jokic and Murray. Yeah, I mean, I love Maxey, man. I'm a Maxey fan. I love him. I hate that I'm doing this, but when you go from like best in the world, like Embiid and Maxey, like, come on, stop, man, stop.
Well, 3 weeks ago, they weren't even going to be a duo because James Harden was still going to be there.
Maxey's incredible, and I will say this. I've been talking Maxey up for years, saying I think Philly was better off letting Maxey be the guy instead of James. Like, I love Tyrese Maxey. I think he's going to be a star, but you can't look at 17 games and ignore 9 seasons. Like, that's crazy to me.
Well, and I didn't bring it up to crap on them because they've talked very positively about Book and everything, but I just found it such a weird thing because we're sitting here looking at everything Book's been doing. A week ago, we were sitting here talking about how otherworldly KD is, and I can't think of any 2 guys in the league that are better.
I think there's a hesitance to fully understand that Devin Booker is a point guard. And I think this duo that was picked was an elite big man and an elite guard. And when you have 2 wing guard type players, I don't know why we kind of default to, there's some positional overlap, there's some skill set overlap. I'd rather have 2 guys that complement each other because they do different things. But in reality, like, we all know that Book and KD, and even Legler and Mars know this, like, Book and KD complement each other in really specific and promising ways, especially with the leap that Book has made as a playmaker, as a game manager this season.
I also think that's what makes it a little bit more fun and interesting and exciting, is because it's not your traditional point big man type situation. It's 2 different guys who are really leaning into the positionless basketball and thriving within it.
That's right.
So I'm like, okay, maybe it's just because the old school in you just doesn't want to let go entirely.
Maybe, and I like listen.
Maybe it's just a little bit of that.
I'd make an argument that these 2 guys complement each other as good as any tandem. And then the last thing I'll say on this is, if you're gonna look at the best 2 tandem, record should matter, right? Record together?
Yeah.
Should that matter? What's Devin Booker and Kevin Durant's record in the regular season when they play together?
They've lost 1 game.
1 game. 22-1? Go ahead with Maxey and Embiid. Have fun with Maxey and Embiid.
You bring up an interesting point, though. I think this is the NBA Jam theory because stay with me here.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Our generation and a generation of people who are now covering the NBA grew up playing that game, and a duo in that game was a small and a big, and I think that has been a conventional thought in what it is, and has weighed in a part of it.
Except us, we have Marley and Barkley, right?
That's true, but that's just because
Barkley was smaller than Marley.
There was never a duo that involved a big.
You couldn't put Mark West in there, baby. I love you, Mark. I love you, Mark.
Could you imagine if the duo had been Mark West and Kevin Johnson, or if it had come out a year before, it was like Jeff Hornacek and Mark West was your duo. Anyways.
One stat that you also forgot to bring up, Gerald, that Book had this week that kind of, I think, pushed him over the edge was a fire Instagram post.
Yes.
He, of course, posted some of the fan shots of the game winner that he had on Sunday night with the caption, quote, "Always complaining about the double." Then he doubled down, and he also pinned a comment from somebody who said, "Couldn't wait to get that caption off." So Book's been sitting on this for a hot minute and knew exactly what he was doing. He was trolling. He was throwing a little shade at everybody. And I thought that was hilarious.
I'm just so glad that we had this like linchpin moment that we could point to in terms of the double teams, because nobody knows that like last season Book was doubled. I think he was doubled either first or second most in the NBA and still was like top 5 or top 10 in terms of points scored out of those situations. Nobody except for the nerds like me know that. But now you have a game-winning fucking highlight that you can point to. Like, hey, fuck your double.
Right.
You could bring 4 guys. You could bring Tom Thibodeau and the ref, too.
Right.
He's still going to hit it.
At the Garden, baby.
Unless the ref's Scott Foster, then he screws it up somehow. But remind me, did the double team summer thing happen after the bubble or before?
Before.
Because the bubble shot over Kawhi and Paul George
teams.
should have been enough.
That should have been.
Yeah, but Book didn't put it on his Instagram like that, so that's what the
fair.
difference was.
Yeah.
This is now forever going to be there.
Did you guys see the other post, though? You know the Nike commercial that he
Yeah.
Yes.
The shot looks
crazy.
almost identical.
Identical, yeah.
The NBA is scripted. They hide these things in plain sight. Like, it was crazy how close it was.
Yeah.
He also had the other Garden winner from his first or second season that was oddly like the winner he hit here.
Hey,
The Mavs one?
No. In the Garden.
No, in the
he
Garden.
had
It's the
one.
second.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
the
second
Oh,
Garden
that's right.
winner. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was when they had that team there. Bledsoe and,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
Tucker and everybody. Who's the guy? Help me out, guys. The play-by-play for the Knicks. Walt Frazier.
Okay.
Walt Clyde Frazier,
Mhm.
right? I'm watching the game from the Knick perspective the other night, and I go back to the to that play. Bro, he said the craziest thing I've ever heard.
What did he say?
He literally is breaking down the play, and he's like, Book didn't even want to take this shot. This is a terrible shot. I'm live on TV, and I'm like, Clyde, what are you saying? He's like, you could tell by the way he dribbled, he had no business taking that shot. It was a desperation shot. I'm like, bro, that's a shot this dude takes in his sleep.
He walked
man.
into that
He
shit.
walked into it. Yeah, so Clyde, man, if you listening, brother, you gotta chill
He
with
pulled
that.
a Paul
but-
George. That's a bad shot.
Yeah, he pulled a Paul. That's a bad shot.
Have you
yeah.
seen what Clyde wears? Decision making.
I've been seeing it my whole life, guy.
I mean, like, come on.
Yeah, you're right. My bad.
So JR2 said, are you guys admitting the NBA is rigged? Yes, and here's where we're going to prove it to you with Flex's $1 million leg parlay.
Oh,
for
we
our
ready.
DraftKings,
Let's go.
He's got
pick
the script
of
for
the
tonight.
week. We got the script, you guys. So here you go. Here's
All
our
right.
pick.
So yeah,
I'm just kidding, by the way. Disclaimer, I'm joking.
tune in.
It's scripted.
So if you lose this bet, don't come yelling at me.
Everybody play close attention here.
Okay.
Because this is going to hit tonight. All right. 11 leg parlay. And I'm going to talk to my man Gerald here to
All
kind of, okay, first leg. Steph Curry to score 20 points.
Yep, that's
Check.
money.
Okay. Kayvon Looney to get 6 rebounds.
Should be
Okay.
good.
Okay. Luka Doncic to score 20 points.
Yep.
Mhm.
hmm
Luka Doncic 6 assists.
Yes, that
Okay.
should be good. He's averaging like 8, so it
There
should
you
be
go.
should be good.
So we almost halfway there.
Mhm.
Anthony Edwards to score 20 in an in-season tournament game.
Yep. hmm
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to get 4 assists.
Yeah, should
We
be
looking good. We
Shea
6
might
through. Okay? Shay, whatever, man. Shea Butter. My bad, Shea
SGA.
Butter. All right, the end of it is
Mhm.
Jason Tatum to score 20 points.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jason Tatum to grab 6 rebounds.
I think that's
that should be good. I think he's averaging like 8 or 9 boards. So
Okay. I think that's the toughest part of the leg.
I would agree.
And then we end the last 3 with what I think should be gimmies. Damian Lillard, 20 points.
Okay.
Giannis to grab 8 rebounds.
hmm
And Jalen Brunson, who just scored 40. Well, how many he had against the Suns?
a lot.
He had like 30 some. Yeah.
Whole bunch of to score 20 tonight. So
Okay.
11 leg parlay. Lock in, put the bet in. Thank me later.
That's pretty
Y'all
good.
gonna bang this 11 leg parlay like we banged that one last night at that Espo's party.
Plus 375, right?
Plus 375. So put a little bread on that, get some money.
I jumped in on
Let's
it.
do it.
All right.
That's not
Good.
bad.
And right now, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code PHNX because new customers can get $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on basketball. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with the code PHNX. The crown is yours. I'm getting sick, so you guys got to bear with me on this one, okay? Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. Please play responsibly. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Blue Hill Casino and Resorts KS, must be 21 or older in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gaming resources. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms.
Well done.
Cool.
Michael Jordan flu game.
Yep, that was the flu game right there.
Lindsay, I'm going to let you take
Let's
a breather
go.
because we've got a brand new sponsor that I want to welcome to the program. Do we have that ad, Eric?
It's elegant. It's exciting. It's exclusive. It's fun. It's Footprint Center, Phoenix's hottest new club. Located in the heart of downtown in a basketball arena, this club has everything. A basketball court, a locker room, the most premier sound system, and 19,000 of your closest friends bumping and thumping to the hottest techno music in the valley. Don't take our word for it. 5-time NBA champion Steve Kerr agrees.
It's like a club. It's like a South Beach club out there. This thumping techno club music.
Stop by the Valley's newest and hottest club, Footprint Center. Oh, and make sure to pay your cover because our bouncer, Scott Foster, has no problem throwing out people who complain.
Lord.
Yo, that is
I
so
love it.
good,
I
bro.
love
That
it.
is comedy,
You didn't have
bro.
a show yesterday? I had some free time. So
That's amazing.
Oh, that's
shout out
amazing.
to our new sponsor, the club at the Footprint Center.
We got to free up more free time for you. my
Apparently.
I
friend.
know,
Bro.
right? We get more gems like this.
Dude, that was incredible.
I'm excited.
Oh, man.
But I'm a
Bumping
little
and
bit
thumping.
concerned about getting kicked out. I'm a little bit concerned.
I love your narrator voice too.
Yeah, no, I loved
Bumping and
it.
thumping.
There was 4 different voices I tried. I had 4 different cuts.
man.
I decided to go with that.
I'm
Did you try
crying,
the Bill
bro.
Hader one?
I did. I
Yeah,
did.
that one's a tough one.
I'm literally crying when I saw the Steve Kerr clip.
Yeah.
I mean, tears are coming out my eyes, man. That was beautiful, bro.
Oh, that's great.
Oh my god!
All right, let me gather myself. That was
Real partner, Arizona's Family Sports, where you can watch Suns games, of course. The next one that will be available over on Arizona's Family Sports is tomorrow, the Raptors and the Suns. It tips off at 5:30 p.m., so make sure you check that out. And all you need to watch games on Arizona's Family Sports is an antenna, and there are so many different options available at every single price point. So wherever you live in Arizona, visit azfamily.com and click Suns Games for listing information for your area. AZ Family is a great resource to help you find Phoenix Suns games on Arizona's Family Sports. All right. Gerald, Craig Morgan
Mhm.
in the chat said, Gerald, can you please explain the in-season tournament to me in 10 words or less? Please talk to me like I'm a child.
10 words or less is a lot. I could probably do like 1,000 words or less. Give me 1,000
Gerald.
words or less. But
We
no,
did online today.
We did, yes, over at
We did.
gophhnx.com if you want the
Yes.
full 1,000-word.
yes, if you want all that. And I also liked writing that piece because I know a lot of people have been down on the in-season tournament or skeptical or whatnot. But from talking to the players, their thoughts are all in there. They're all pretty high on it. A couple of them were skeptical at first, but now they're really coming around and seeing the benefit of this and enjoying the NBA experimenting and trying something new to add some spice into this section of the calendar. But I did want to walk people through the scenarios because tonight's games, it's the last slate of group play games for the in-season tournament. And people have been curious or confused about how the Suns can clinch a spot in the in-season tournament. So
Break it down.
I'm going to break it down.
Let's go.
So
Like your
there's,
children, though. Remember.
all right.
I'm
So
excited.
there's 3 groups in the Western Conference. The winners of each group automatically qualify for the knockout round. And then the last slot is filled by 1 wildcard team per conference. So there's 4 per conference, 8 total teams. The last wildcard spot will come down to the second best teams in each of the 3 groups in the West. So within group play, the first tiebreaker is record, obviously, then head-to-head matchups, then point differential, then total points scored in the group stage, then last year's regular season record. And if they're still somehow tied, which would be insane, there will be a random drawing if necessary. So in between these 3 groups, the second place teams, they're going to go through those tiebreakers, the first record, then point differential, so on and so forth. So we'll take a look at the Group A standings. The Lakers have already won Group A with a 4-0 record. They'll likely be the 1 seed because of their plus 74 point differential. The Kings could technically win tonight and move to 4-0, but they'd have to score 46 points. They'd have to beat the Warriors by 46 points to catch the Lakers in point differential. So more than likely, the Lakers are going to be the 1 seed in the West because of their record and their point differential. If we go to Group B is no longer a threat to steal a wild card spot from the Suns because the Suns have that 3-1 record and a very good point differential at plus 34. If the Rockets beat the Mavs tonight, they win that group with a 3-1 record because they have the tiebreaker over the Pelicans, who are also 3-1. The Pelicans would fall short of the Suns plus 34 point differential in that scenario by exactly 1 point.
Dang, we got lucky on that one.
That
We
book
did.
three. That
Book
book
three that he banked in against the Grizzlies was huge, and so was the Eric Gordon 3 from a few weeks back when they lost to the Lakers. It was meaningless, but both of those were really big there. If the Mavs beat the Rockets, Houston's 2-2, so they don't match up to the Suns' 3-1 record. So in Group C, this is what it's going to come down to tonight. If you look at the standings here, the Kings are in first with 3-0, a plus 29 point differential. They'll play the Warriors, who are in third with a 2-1 record and a plus 5 point differential. The Timberwolves are second because they own the head-to-head tiebreaker over the Warriors at 2-1, but they are a -3 in the point differential column. So what does that mean in terms of how the Suns could get knocked out? Basically, the Kings... If the Kings beat the Warriors, they move to 4-0. They win the group. The Timberwolves would then have to beat the Thunder tonight by 38 points in order to tie the Suns with a 3-1 record and pass their point differential because they're at -3. They got to get to plus 34. They got to win by 38. Or they could technically win by exactly 37 points, and they would still need to score 149 points to pass the Suns in the next tiebreaker, which is points scored in group play. So that's unlikely. If the Timberwolves lose at all tonight, the Suns are totally in. I'm glad you guys had this all planned out here.
I don't think they had it planned. I think this was off the
Is
cuff.
this just happening?
I
Okay.
think it was.
So if the Thunder beat the Timberwolves, it doesn't matter. Suns are automatically clinching.
Okay.
If the Warriors win, they have to win by 30 plus, and the Timberwolves have to win by 38 plus. Because if the Warriors beat the Kings, Group C would have 3 teams with a 3-1 record. The Kings' point differential at plus 29 would obviously go down. That's nowhere near where they need to be to match the Suns' point differential. The Timberwolves have to get there by winning by 38, and the Warriors are at a plus 5, so they would have to win by 30 to pass the Suns in point differential. So basically, if the Kings win, the Timberwolves have to win by 38, Suns are out. Otherwise, Suns are in. If the Warriors win, they have to win by 30, and the Timberwolves have to win by 38. So basically, the Suns are in unless two 30-point blowouts happen. And they're in a really good spot.
Well,
And it's not likely that we're going to see. I mean, listen, it is the final gate night of the in-season tournament stuff for these teams. So some of them might have a little extra juice to them, but that's asking a lot.
It's a lot.
Hold on.
G.
This is scripted. The Suns are out.
I don't think so.
No,
man. They want KD versus
That's
LeBron.
what Jess was saying. That's how we prove it, right?
Yeah.
That's how we prove it.
G. Bless your soul, brother.
Yes.
You did a fantastic job of breaking.
I tried. I got a little thrown
now.
off in the middle there.
Can you do it one more time?
Who is
Teasing apples this time.
who
like
was the
Amelia
guy that
requested
asked
in
the
chat.
question? 10 words.
Oh, Craig?
Oh, that was our guy Craig Morgan. Yeah.
Craig Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm gonna give him the 10 words.
Okay.
All right?
Mhm.
The Suns are getting in and winning the whole thing. There you go.
Hey-o.
That's it right there. That's it in a nutshell.
Guys, we also got great news. Craig said, thanks, Gerald, and then followed up and said, Lindsay, the full sweet potato is yours. Yay. Craig's wife makes the best sweet potato pie. I've been trying to get my hands on one of these pies for a hot minute.
There you go.
I'm so excited. Okay.
I'm still trying to figure out what Gerald said.
So
I'm still doing the
basically,
calculation.
we're going to be in the tournament, Espo,
Yes.
unless
We're in,
some
baby.
outrageous shenanigans happen in tonight's
If the
games.
Thunder win, Suns are in. If the Warriors win by less than 30, Suns are in.
That's it.
And the Timberwolves have to win by 38 or more.
No,
And
don't worry,
both those teams that have to win, both those teams that have to win are probably going to lose.
Yeah.
I was going to say something real off
Go ahead.
color, so I'm not going
I
to
saved you.
Perfect. I'm
Leave it
glad he
alone.
interrupted you
Thank
then. And then if and when the Suns do make it into this, the likely scenario is that they'll play the Lakers
Yes.
in LA
Mhm.
on either Monday or Tuesday is what we
fourth or
decided.
fifth,
It's
right?
Monday or Tuesday is the
Yeah.
first two
Yeah.
games of the
Mhm.
tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4th or 5th. It'll be. I assume they'll drop that tonight. They probably have every scenario mapped out, I'd imagine.
There's a
Or
lot of
tomorrow.
different
Or tomorrow.
scenarios, though.
Tonight or tomorrow
It'll
morning.
probably be tomorrow because I know how they are with like playoff scheduling. They also got to set things up with their
That's true.
broadcast or whatever.
And
But
the arenas.
Yeah, so that game, the quarterfinals happen on the 4th and the 5th.
mhm.
And then the semifinals happen on the 7th, which is in Vegas as well, correct?
Semifinals and
the
championship.
championship on the 9th.
Mhm.
And then somebody in the chat at the very top of the show, forgive me, I don't remember who it was, said that they hoped that we didn't make the in-season tournament so that we could have the week off. It was Mark.
Yeah.
So we could have the week off to rest the guys. So you don't get the whole week off
Right.
because
True.
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday are tournament games. But then Wednesday and Friday are flex games. So every single team is guaranteed 2 games next week.
Yes.
So at minimum.
So you're still playing.
2 teams will have
You're
3.
playing.
But you are
yes.
still playing games. So you don't just get kind of like another quasi all-star break. You don't get a fall break, basically.
The flex game sounds like something that Flex would put us through, like
Yeah.
tasks.
Right.
Zone
if we-
defense.
If we were to lose to the Lakers in that quarterfinal game, we would end up having an additional flex game on either Wednesday or Friday that week. Like we're going to play 2 games that week no matter what. But I'm feeling good about a matchup against the Lakers because in theory we should have Devin Booker out there, which we did not have the other times that we played this.
In theory, we
the
should be
Lakers.
2-0 against the Lakers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
they
mean, we should be.
blew the tournament game. They were ahead in that fourth quarter.
And the
so,
one before
yeah.
that, they were up going big in the fourth too. So they should have won both those Laker games. If you saw the Lakers last night, you shouldn't feel good.
Can I give you guys? It's a little breaking news. Nothing major came out today about the in-season tournament, and it's another reason why I am all in on this freaking thing.
Mhm.
According to Front Office Sports and Bleacher Report, TNT and ESPN will integrate their personalities for a special night of NBA in-season tournament semifinal coverage. Inside the NBA will feature Ernie, Chuck, Kenny, Shaq, Stephen A. Smith, and Michael Wilbon.
Damn.
It is the crossover event of the century.
Wow.
That is fire.
So many shenanigans.
There are not enough mics for that.
There's not.
There's not enough airtime for that.
No,
No.
it's going to be fun. I feel sorry for Ernie. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like Ernie trying to
me
wrangle the
too.
cats.
Good
Poor
luck.
I mean, Mike Wilbon can kind of
Ernie,
just
I know how
kind
you
of
feel, my guy.
disappear into the background if he so chooses, but Ernie's got to drive the clown car.
That's
That's
a
going to be a
lot.
lot
Kind
of
of what
fun.
Lindsay does every
Yeah.
night.
Yeah, yeah, not with five of us. You know,
I mean, listen, 3 of you at one time is a lot.
Yeah.
Okay?
And we haven't even won Emmys like Chuck and everybody else.
Jeez.
It's coming, baby. It's
Lindsay
coming.
has, she's
No,
got 2
she
of them,
has. We
so-
haven't.
I know.
I have. I just don't brag about it. so.
Off topic, Silos in the chat said the El Valle chucks are tough, the ones we have on the table. So I'll go with those custom made, and I love them. They're pretty dope.
Yes, they are.
So we had to get some fancy new kicks for the table this year, and that's what we landed on.
Mhm.
Listen, if you guys have not signed up for Circle K's Inner Circle, you are leaving good deals on the table. It's a free membership program, and first and foremost, when you sign up, you save 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups. You also save 3 cents per gallon every day. You get every 6 free on a selection of Circle K products. There's a lot of perks for joining Inner Circle, so make sure you do that for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. Also, if you have a ticket to a game this season, make sure you check out our friends over at Illegal Pete's because you can head to Illegal Pete's before or after any ticketed event and score a house margarita or a draft beer for just a penny with their sound check promo that they've got going on. You know we love our friends over at Illegal Pete's. They have an elite patio. The food is bomb. The drinks are bomb. The vibes are bomb. So make sure you guys check them out. All right, guys, we have a game to play. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Let's play King of the Court presented by Arizona Lottery. Don't forget to go out and buy your holiday scratchers this holiday season. Okay, so let's look at the card. So like nice little scratcher. So we're going to
Okay.
pick 3 numbers and we'll do one at a time. And whatever player we get is who we get to talk about next. So
Okay.
I'm going to go first because I called dibs.
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Okay,
It's
I'm
your
gonna-
game.
I'm gonna pick. It's my game. I'm going to pick number 1. Who do
Okay.
we have for number 1? Is that Katie?
Oh, Kevin
The
Durant.
Reaper.
Okay.
Let's talk a little bit about Kevin Durant, someone we are going to be keeping an eye on this week because he's missed a few games now with an injury. We're all kind of anxiously anticipating his return, even though the team has held it down over the last couple of days that he's been out. But I think we do have a little bit of an update from Dwayne Rankin, who's traveling on the road right now. He said that Frank Vogel said Suns will wait on how Kevin Durant responds to Tuesday, aka today's practice, for availability Wednesday at Raptors. And then, of course, kind of throw this in there, Grayson Allen did not practice because he's still struggling with that illness, but he'll be with the team in Toronto. Said he feels a little bit better. Missed Sunday's game, of course, and Frank Vogel hopes that Allen can play on Wednesday. So hopefully Grayson Allen is feeling a little better from that illness. But as far as KD goes, if he misses tomorrow's game, are you guys going to be concerned?
No. And we do have the official injury report now. KD and Grayson are both listed as questionable.
Okay.
Brad and Damian Lee still out, but Nassir Little also out due to personal reasons. Just something to keep an eye on. I wouldn't be concerned if KD misses tomorrow, though. They're being cautious with him, and they have a back-to-back coming up at home this upcoming weekend.
Yeah, I got an update yesterday. I followed up this morning. I mean, it's not anything that anyone is super alarmed with. Okay. I believe KD is going to see how he feels in the morning. He'll be a game time decision again tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And if the Suns had it their way, he wouldn't play. I mean, this is one of those things where you got the team and the player kind of working together. If the Suns had their way, KD would probably sit out the Toronto game and return on Friday with the back-to-back that you mentioned, Gerald. Mm-hmm. So I would not be shocked if KD does not go tomorrow. But this is Kevin Durant. They are in Toronto. He likes Drake. Drake's going to be there. They just did an album. So, hey, who knows?
They're also listing it as a right foot contusion now for KD instead of right foot soreness. Yeah. So just something to keep an eye on.
Which is what you get from a contusion.
Soreness.
So
it's a bruise. What? I love that we have to go contusion. It's like, no, it's a bruise. He's got a bruised foot.
If there was a silver lining to kind of just like the timing of all of this, it's that obviously we played Memphis and the Knicks where the Suns were able to take care of business there. 2 days off in between Sunday's game and tomorrow's game. And then, so time-wise would basically put him at just about a week if he decided not to play in tomorrow's game and come back on Friday here at home. So a good week of rest for KD too, who we've talked multiple times this season already, who has been carrying much more of the load because of the injuries with Book and Bradley Beal. So I guess there's a silver lining to it. He only had to miss maybe 3 games to get an entire week of time off. And if he does play tomorrow, still quite a few days that he was able to rest and not miss any games. And they didn't take any L's along the way.
Come back well rested against the Nuggets.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody wants to beat Denver. By the way, did Nassir Little forget his passport? Is that the personal reason?
Oh, no.
Because they are going to Toronto.
No, I hope not. Well, actually, I kind of hope it is that because that would be a little bit better than any other personal reasons that we've ever really gotten.
Personal reason.
Additional information on
my
that.
dog ate my passport.
But hopefully everything is good with him. And hopefully we get a little bit more of an update potentially tomorrow on Grayson Allen and Kevin Durant. I know he was out there warming up pregame before the Knicks game on Sunday, and he looked like he was in good spirits and moving pretty well. So at least we're trending in the right direction when it comes to him.
Jay, the injury report on the Purple Pants, they have made it through the wash and the first dryer cycle. They're in the second dryer cycle. They should be good to go. Regular size, looking good tomorrow.
Are they probable?
P for probable and purple?
Probable. I mean, there's 3 pairs of them, so one of them will be ready to go.
Okay. We'll see.
So they're in.
They're in.
Okay.
They're in.
Got to know it. Okay.
Gerald, you want to pick our next one?
Yeah, let's go with the number 3. It's a good number. Or I'm sorry. You know what? Let's go with number 6.
I was going to say
met you. Oh,
3 is Shrek.
3. Oh, that
3
is
is
Shrek.
Shrek.
That is Shrek. Pick number 3, my lord. 6.
So, who is that?
That's Nas.
Is that Nas?
That's
He's
Nas.
out tomorrow. We can't talk about Nas.
Well,
It's kind of a bummer.
Oh, you're
now
right.
that,
We got. What are y'all picking anybody
We're
that's
only
out?
talking about injured people.
apparently we are.
I guarantee the next one's going to be the Purple Pants.
No, it's
Oh,
Bradley
no.
Beal. It's the
Okay.
next one.
oh no! I mean, listen. at the end of the day, we are keeping an eye on all three of these guys, like KD, now Nas, and then Bradley Beal as well. We're trying to get an update on what's going on with all of them. I am a little bit bummed that Nas isn't going to be playing. I mean, he's basically like the leader of the Stay Ready crew, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's been taking full advantage of the opportunity and the minutes he's been getting as of late. It's been fun to watch him, like, just find comfort within this squad around these guys. Like, it's a little bit of a bummer that we're going to miss him tomorrow.
But he's being a good leader to the Stay Ready crew and letting somebody else that needed to stay ready get an opportunity.
I mean, that's fair. He's sharing the wealth.
Well, I've been very impressed with him. I heard a lot about athleticism, all this when he came from Portland, and always he's a good guy. But when you see the little things, the hustle, what he's able to do with that athleticism so far, it's been great to see him finally break through, get those minutes. Hopefully this is a case of nothing and just something take care of tomorrow. He's back Friday, because I think he can continue to be a very valuable part of this rotation.
Yeah, no, I love Nas. And I mean, we gotten surprised with the offensive output, but what I love from Nas is the defensive versatility. I mean, he guarded every Knick. I went back and looked at the tape. He guarded every Knick on that floor the other night. It would be nice to have him in Toronto for that Scotty Barnes matchup, because he would match up really nice with him with the physicality. But he won't be there. But listen, you said it the other day on the show. He gets 3 threes. Like, that's new, man. We didn't expect that. So good job by Nas, and looking forward to seeing more of him.
He's been great off the bench. He scored in double figures for the last 6 games. He's been playing with a lot of energy too. Like, you see the way that he grabs rebounds, he slaps the shit out of the ball. The way he blocks shots, he slaps the shit out of the ball. Like, he just brings a ton of energy. He's a runaway freight train on some of his drives with that athleticism and strength. And he's shooting 35% on threes over the last 6 games during that stretch where he's been getting more minutes. So he's been really good. Hopefully the personal reasons are good news, because I think he announced on his IG recently he and his girlfriend is pregnant, so maybe that's what it is.
That might be it. Yeah, that might be it.
Hopefully that's what it is. And it's not anything more serious.
I'm gonna try to get
like
it. Go ahead, keep going.
That or passport, either one. It's good.
We're fine with those.
Usually, though, they always double check before you even get on the plane.
I've heard dumber
things. When you
things.
leave Phoenix, so you have your passport.
I've heard dumber things.
This is facts. I mean, listen, you're not wrong.
Left it in Memphis. I mean, there's all sorts of,
I mean, unfortunately, you're not wrong, Espo.
We might have an update before the end of the show on that.
Okay.
So I'll let y'all know.
We've all known those guys, though.
Absolutely. We all have the stories. Which one of the two of you wants to pick our last one?
I'll pick the last one.
Okay, what you got?
I'm feeling number 9 for Little Thunder, Dan Marley.
Okay.
Jordan Goodwin.
We get my favorite.
Well, at least he'll play tomorrow, so that's good.
Yeah.
So
it's not Bradley.
We got one.
I know, right? Like, we don't want to just jinx it, whatever.
He is Bradley Beal's boy, so there is that.
That's true. We're keeping an eye on Jordan Goodwin, because his stock is, of course, rising here in Phoenix as well, especially after Sunday's game. But Jordan Goodwin is just like, he's all reliable. I feel like you always know what you're going to get with Jordan Goodwin night in and night out at this point. And that's some hustle.
I don't know. Well, yes, the hustle for sure. I think the best part is that he's supplemented the hustle with like good numbers recently.
Right.
Like, scored 14 in back-to-back games. He's been active on the boards, 5 and 7 rebounds the last 2 games. And last game he had 5 assists, a block and a steal on top of that. Like, for those 2 stretches in the last 2 fourth quarters where Devin Booker was sitting, he's been huge in like carrying the offense, kind of, because Kevin Durant hasn't been out there to take care of it. You need offense from someone in the Stay Ready crew. He's done that. And I wasn't crazy about his shot selection earlier in the season, but he's been really good offensively recently, to where, it's kind of making up for that a little bit.
Yeah. He's been incredible, and it's the hustle lens. It's what he brings that doesn't show up on the box score. Every time he's on the court, it seems like you're just getting more energy from the entire group. It's infectious. When he's out there, they look like they're on a string. He gives you extra possessions. He dives on the floor. He gets loose balls. He hits the offensive glass. He hits the defensive glass. So these are the things that, if I'm a coach, I don't care what the stats show. I need that guy on the court, because good things happen when that guy plays. So the last play of the game on the Booker play, if he doesn't have 16 points and he doesn't hit a couple threes, they don't play Devin that way. As soon as Devin gives up the ball, they could have went a completely different way with it, but he was a threat. and being a threat on the court helps Devin get to that last play and hit that game-winning shot. So good for Jordan. That's part of the dog pound. Looking forward to seeing more of him.
Yeah, I mean, if Jordan hadn't been effective, they cheat off of him.
Yeah.
In that situation, it becomes much more difficult. What did we hear when we heard Jordan Goodwin was part of this trade?
Throwing.
Washington fans seemed a little upset, and that everybody said you'll love his heart and hustle. Yeah. Like there was no doubt in that. But the fact that we've seen growth offensively, what he's been able to do, is making me really excited for this kid's future, because he definitely fits the mold of what Frank Vogel wants defensively in his approach to that. But if he can continue to do it offensively, even averaging 8-10 points, that changes the whole dynamic for this team, because you've now got a guy that, again, you have to be honest on defensively, and could pay dividends in the playoffs, even if he's only in there 5 or 6 minutes. Those 5 or 6 minutes when you have to have some of those bench guys in the playoffs can make all the difference. Do you keep a lead? Do you keep a team from extending a lead before your guys come back in? Jordan Goodwin defensively, I think, is there. And if he can be there offensively, you've now added a whole nother dimension to what you can do later on.
And Sub-Zero is top 10 in the NBA in deflections per 36 minutes. He's also second in the NBA in offensive rebounding percentage among players that are 6'4" and shorter, behind only Josh Okogie.
Hey-o.
So the NBA has two of the most dynamic crashing guards in the NBA on the offensive glass. That's a nice thing to have coming off your bench.
Yeah, I just got an update on Nassir Little.
Okay.
It's a completely family isolated issue.
Okay.
He's going to take care of it. He'll be back. He's fine. Everything's good.
Good to hear. Listen, if you want to get some holiday scratchers this holiday season from Arizona Lottery, I highly recommend. They make the perfect last-minute shopping gifts, and they're also always a big hit at any sort of gift exchange. Secret Santas, like if you don't know the person very well, maybe it's a new coworker in your life or a significant other's coworker or something along those lines. You can't go wrong with holiday scratchers from Arizona Lottery. So go out and buy your holiday scratchers today. Also, if you're trying to get $200 in bonuses this holiday season, check out our friends over at Desert Financial Credit Union. They have been Arizona's largest, most trusted local credit union for more than 84 years. And right now, when you open a free checking account online, you're going to get $200 in bonuses. You can get started by visiting desertfinancial.com/200. All right, guys, we're going to round out with a question that our friends over at the ALLCITY NBA show asked us, or not just asked in general, their viewers. Which team is under the most pressure right now? Do you feel like the Suns are in this conversation? Do you feel like it belongs to somebody else in the league? How are we feeling pressure-wise?
Can you do most pressure like to win a championship or currently this moment pressure?
Ultimately to win a championship, because there's a lot of expectations that teams were given over the offseason. Who has kind of lived up to it and who's got a lot of pressure to continue to live up to it, I suppose.
It's the Clippers, man.
I got to say Clippers-Lakers.
Yeah, and for the Clippers, it's because if this doesn't work this season, you got a lot of guys that are becoming free agent, a lot of high-paid players. Your coaching situation with Tyronn Lue is still up in the air. Like, what are you going to do if this doesn't work out? This James Harden swing for the fences that you've made, it's got to be them, because everything rests on them staying healthy and them figuring out the Harden stuff. Yeah. And if they don't, this could very well be a lottery bottom feeding team next year or the year beyond.
You all right, Lynn?
Yeah, my eye burns.
Oh, I just saw. All right, I'm just making sure. No, I think it's Lakers-Clippers. Listen, Lakers this offseason, everyone said they had the best offseason.
I wasn't shaking my head at you. I was laughing at Lindsay.
Oh, no. The Lakers supposedly had the best offseason. They went out there, spent some money. It hasn't paid dividends, and the clock on LeBron is running out. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if they don't do something, I think they're under a lot of pressure to get something done. And then to G's point, I mean, the Clippers got to do something. So I think the two LA teams are the front runners. I actually don't feel like the Suns have any pressure. I don't. I think the Suns' window is more than this year.
Okay, because I was going to say, if we change this to pressure to win a championship, does that change your answer then?
No, not for me.
No, I mean, there's still like the expectation for the Clippers is to be competing for championships. I don't know if people look at that roster now and see them as a real championship threat. So for me, the 4 teams that have the pressure on them to actually win it all: Boston, Milwaukee, Phoenix, Denver, maybe Philly.
That's what I was going to say. Philly, yeah.
I think it's 100% the Suns.
You do?
Really?
Yeah.
Because the national narrative is this team's all in, that there's the pressure of Bradley Beal. Is he coming back? Is it going to be healthy? Are they saddled with this? You look at the Clippers and you say the fact that these guys are free agents is a negative. I look at it as a positive, because if this doesn't work, they have an out option on it. For the Suns,
Yeah, but no draft picks.
They got no capital.
but the problem for the Suns is they got no cap space, no draft picks. Like they're in a completely locked in. So if this doesn't work, I think you got 2 years.
That's what I
for
think.
it. But if it doesn't work this year, the pressure mounts even more next year. I think there is an immense amount of pressure on the Phoenix Suns for this to work. And I think the fact that there have been the injuries early have added to that pressure, because people are going, this is exactly what we told you it was going to be, right?
Yeah.
And we look at it and we go, okay, so they've won 7 in a row. But you look at, the fans in Phoenix, the national narrative. Winning 7 in a row doesn't do anything to quell that. The only thing that's gonna fulfill that for anybody is a title, right? So I think that in and of itself adds the most pressure. The Lakers are gonna, everybody kind of expected AD could wind up hurt. LeBron is over the hill. Austin Reeves wasn't who we thought he was. There's excuses there that they can turn to and make that I think, because they're the Lakers, people will buy into that narrative. The Clippers, everybody knows it's a desperation move, but they also have Steve Ballmer with deep pockets and a potential out next offseason to actually go chase people, because they'll have cap space. The Suns are here. This is what they have. And all of it seems to add to the pressure.
I feel like that's pressure from a fan perspective, though. From like a national perspective, I don't know if that pressure exists in the same way. I mean, they could do the whole "I told you so" thing, but I feel like there's more pressure on the Celtics than the Suns, based off of how much love and admiration they get.
I feel like it's partly, to your point, like the way that we consume the NBA now. There's pressure on all of these teams that are in the running, because like with Boston, every time that something goes wrong for the Celtics and they come up short, it's we got to break up Tatum and Jaylen Brown. We got to make a swing for the fences move with Kristaps Porzingis. We're still relying on like a 37-year-old Al Horford to be our starting center. Like there are concerns with the Celtics, and they're the best team in the NBA record-wise right now. But if they fall short again while being one of the best teams in the NBA, there's going to be immense pressure on that front office to like, okay, why can't we get over the hump? Milwaukee, the pressure is eased up a little bit because, you've already won a title, but Giannis applied the pressure to them this summer to make them hire his guy as coach and bring in Dame Lillard. Philly, if you don't win or get to the conference finals at least with Joel Embiid, at what point is he going to be like, I don't want to be here anymore? Like, there's pressure on all these teams. My thing with the Suns is there is immense pressure to win in these next 2 years because you've had this window of title contention. But at the same time, Devin Booker's still only 27. You're still going to have 30. Him beyond this immediate window. Maybe he looks at the situation at that time and says, I can't win here anymore. But with this owner that we have and the allure of Phoenix, the cap space that'll be freed up by then, I have a hard time seeing a scenario where Phoenix doesn't reload. But I do agree with you. There is a lot of pressure on Phoenix, not just from the fan base here because of the perception of the big three.
But I think, Lindsay, you bring up a good point. What's the definition? What's the pressure? Is it internally? Or is it the fan base? Is it some combination of all of it? Is it talking heads? Because to me, it's the fan base where the pressure comes from, because this fan base is so antsy because they've never seen a title. Every little thing, and I don't know how much that permeates the team, but at some point it's got to. And the way I know that Devin Booker's the only guy left from the last 2 years. Well, the
Finals team.
the finals team, the Mavs collapse. I know Katie was here last year in that Nuggets series, but like there's pressure there too because of the way you flamed out in the playoffs, in particular against the Mavs and in deciding games. So it really depends. I don't know. Katie and Book don't seem like guys that ever feel pressure regardless.
That's my point. When I hear the question, I'm thinking as a player, as the organization player, who's got the most pressure organizationally, player-wise. I'm taking the fans out of it. Because like Gerald said, I mean, fan bases are all going to say, we got to win, we got to win. When I look at the Lakers, there's a ticking clock. That clock is ticking. LeBron ain't getting younger. Okay. When you look at the Clippers, there's a clicking clock. I'm sorry. These guys are gonna be free agents. They're gonna move on. The Warriors as well. You got an issue with Klay Thompson. Wiggins isn't playing well. That contract's looking atrocious right now. So there are issues with the Suns.
But the Lakers and Warriors have won their titles. Right?
Yeah, well they have.
Clippers and Suns, since they haven't, I think it makes it a little different. If the LeBron experiment ends and you get one title, you go, we got the title, right? So you got that. The Warriors, if they don't win another one, they're still the greatest team of the last 15 years. Even Milwaukee, if they don't win, they still won the first one since the 70s there.
Right. Yeah, I get that. From that perspective, you're right.
But I think James might be gone if they don't win this year, depending
James
on how
Jones.
they exit.
Yeah, he may.
So there's pressure, I think, from that perspective in a front office spot too.
I think the Suns are going. I think the Suns are going to do everything they can to win this year. Yes. But I just don't think that if they don't, I don't look at them and say this is a 1-year experiment. If they don't win this year, I think next year.
Yeah,
I
2
think
years from now.
Yeah, next year. If we're sitting in this chair after this year and next year and they ain't win yet, we in a heap of shit.
But I will say if the Celtics or the Sixers fall short, we could see very different teams next year. Yeah. I don't know if I'd say that about the Suns outside of the end of the bench
rotational
guys.
Clippers, Celtics, Suns, I think all have immense. Philly, I think there's less because of the James Harden mess. You can do this season wound up.
I don't know.
No, I think Joel's
going on back there with. Oh wait, no, we're talking Philly. Sorry,
Philly.
I think Joel, Linz. I think Joel and Embiid, y'all can mark it down. Philly doesn't win this year. Joel Embiid, this will be his last year in Philly. I'm telling y'all, that's the pressure.
Then guess what? It's going to be Joel Embiid's last year in Philly. Too bad they have to break up the greatest duo in the NBA right now.
I mean, yeah. Good point.
So sad. Jay pulling a Lindsay right now said, I agree with everyone, but not completely agree with anybody.
Okay, cool.
I get it, Jay.
There you go, Jay.
I really
get
do.
it. I get it.
100%. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us today. We appreciate you very much. If you're here on YouTube, make sure you hit that thumbs up on your way out. It helps us out a lot. If you are listening wherever you get your podcast, rate, review, subscribe. Also helps us out a lot, and we really appreciate it. We will be back tomorrow, 30 minutes before tip-off with a pregame show and, of course, a post-game show as well. It's a little bit of an early one tomorrow, 5:30 tip-off, which means we'll start at 5 o'clock with our pregame show. So plan to come hang out with us then. And until we see you tomorrow, be sure to give the show a follow on Twitter at PHNX_Suns. You can also follow me at Lindsay Smith AZ. You can follow Gerald at Gerald Bourget. You can follow Flex at Flex from Jersey. And of course, you can follow Espo at Espo. Espo, take us home.
Do you have a club that needs promoting? I'm here for you. Ahoy, hoy.
We all silly like the mayor.